I almost see it like housing,
I
you
mean,
know?
I
Like, go ahead, Shane.
yeah. No, I was just gonna say I don't think it's gonna be very sustainable if it keeps going this way. But I mean, I
Mhm.
also could be wrong because it's continued to boom these last 2 years, even with the prices continue to skyrocket with everything. So I don't know, but I mean, markets change, right? I mean, Shay was kind of just about to say about housing. We've seen housing crashes. We've seen other markets, car markets crash.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, golf could definitely crash. It wouldn't shock me with the way that prices have been going. So
Yeah, and I think just like in the housing, one thing that I see is that there's certain pockets that are well protected. Like usually wealthier pockets are protected. There's some wealthy areas around where I live that they're not going to fluctuate as much price wise because that the people that have that kind of money still have that kind of money.
right,
And then you see the more like first time home buyers, those kind of price ranges get more affected because those are the people that are having tougher times. So that's what I kind of see for golf the same way, like the Cypress Points, the Pebble Beaches, everything, those will never have an issue. You know what
yeah,
I
the
mean?
country club
Like at
market
that
won't
price
get
point.
affected.
No, they won't
Right.
have an issue at all, right? But then you see some courses closing around the nation. You'll see like a course closing, and you're like, oh, bummer. Some of Shane's favorite courses from when he was younger closed, and that's the stuff that you hate to see. Like anything that's more accessible, because country clubs they'll always be here, but you want to make sure like the munis stay accessible, and by accessible I mean affordable, basically.
Right. I agree. I think it's going to end up becoming, if we don't make it more accessible, it's going to
Mhm.
eventually turn into a major niche market where it's going to be
Mhm.
specific. It's going to turn sort of like polo.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys know
Sure.
the sport
Yeah,
of polo, right? Polo is
yeah,
very expensive
Mhm.
to be a part of, and it's a game where you can tell you have to be in that high class social dynamic to even afford it. So it's sort of real nichey where it's meant for a certain audience and that audience just keeps it going and then that's all it's meant for. It's like a club. And
Mhm.
if
right,
you can't afford to be a part of that club, they just don't give a shit.
right.
And but yet you don't see a lot of polo tournaments, right? You don't see a lot of people watching polo or there's not professional polo players that we're all about. And it's more of just it turned into it's sort of like a hobby, really.
Mhm.
And
It's
that's what
really
I'm
a
worried.
status symbol.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
if you say you've, like, played actual polo, like horse polo, that's crazy. I'd be like, "Oh my god,
I
you are
know.
a multi-millionaire for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way your parents aren't loaded if you played horse polo." You know what I mean? Like, not water polo, just to be clear, that's why I say horse polo. And someone's like, "Oh, yeah, I played polo in high school." I'd be like, "Oh, okay, water polo is cool." They'd be like, "No, horse polo." I'd be like, "Holy shit." I'd bow probably. I'd just be like, "Nice to meet you, sir."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
That's
Mr.
crazy.
Beforfington.
Yeah, because Polo's big over by Pebble. I don't know if you go over by Pebble, they've got the polo grounds over there.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a few polo fields right
Oh,
around Pebble
yeah.
right there,
Yep.
and Spyglass, so that's big around there because obviously it's like a wealthy area.
Yeah, oh,
So
yeah.
it's crazy.
100%. And that's yeah, I'm sure that and again, it's like a rich man's hobby, I feel
Mhm.
like, where people just play it because they can afford it, and then there's certain people that, obviously, there's probably good players at it, but you're never gonna know what they're doing, or it's not gonna be showcased on TV because.
Sure.
Man, can you imagine how many people would get emotionally invested in that? I don't think it would be a lot because people don't even
Yeah.
1, never played it, 2, we don't know how to play it, and
Right.
3, if we do get interested to play it, we are fucked because who the hell is gonna be able to afford that?
Yeah. Well, you need a horse, so I think that's the biggest barrier
Yeah,
to entry, you know?
Oh,
Just roll
speak
into the local park with a horse for pickup, that would be crazy. Just like, that's insane.
I
But
know,
yeah,
and then
it's
that's the
crazy.
thing is you gotta maintain a horse, and it's gotta be a quality horse, and then on top of
Mhm.
that, you have to every time you go practice.
me too.
Right? You
That's
gotta bring the
insane, yeah.
horse out, you gotta do this, you gotta dress a certain way, you have all this
Plus the
shit.
clothes. Those clothes look expensive. Have you seen those boots? I
I
could
know.
never. No, there's no way. Those are expensive.
So,
No, not a chance. I couldn't afford
we
it.
were I just had this group, and they all gambled on the Kentucky Derby, and I guess right before, they were getting the horses in the gate, one of the horses wigged out
Yeah,
and flipped
big white.
over. yeah, flipped over and it completely fucked out the race or whatever. I guess
Um,
he's just done, right? And so where I'm walking down the fairway at Sheep Ranch, and the guy said, "And you know what's crazy is these guys, investors in these horses, they sometimes spend up to over 500 grand in a year, 600 grand in a year to get a horse ready to get them in the Kentucky Derby. It's a
uh,
shitload of money. And so can you imagine?"
It's for the animal to be an animal and wig out.
Me and my buddy were caddy, we were thinking, there's some dude in some pine box out there, just in a sky box, losing his fucking mind because he spent
it's
$500,000 on a horse
insane.
and all these things, a jockey and everyone to get ready, and then they right before the shit goes, this horse wigs the fuck out and
Oh
and
my
gets
god.
disqualified, dude. I would lose my absolute shit, dude. There's no way and again, people I caddy for, it's some of the shit that comes out of their mouth. I'm thinking, wow, okay. Like this is a good one. So I was with George Kittle and Travis Kelsey. I'm good friends with Robert Tonian. He's the tight end for the Chiefs, and
Sick. Yeah.
yeah, right, super cool dude. Oh, I it was funny because I had George, Travis, Robert, and the tight end from the Giants. I can't think of his name. We called him Piedmont. Whatever. They were all like 6'5" and taller. Okay, and I'm
Hmm.
5'8" on a good day. So
Nice.
we took a picture. They wanted to take a picture with us, and I'm not shitting you. I felt like a Make-A-Wish kid.
Mm.
Dude, it was insane. These fucking dudes are huge. They're just big people, right?
It is
No,
just
but
so big. Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
like Kelsey
They're
especially,
tall and
dude,
wide. It's crazy. I'm like, what
dude,
the
he
hell?
looked like a
So,
refrigerator.
yeah.
Like, it was I'm
It's
thinking, "No
crazy.
shit, dude," and yeah, right? You're like, "Hey, man, if I was in that body, no shit, I would be an
Yeah.
NFL player," right? But anyways, we're walking down on trails, and Tony he was talking to me, and he goes, "Yeah, so Kelsey basically flies in private jets like they're Ubers."
Yeah,
Man.
must be nice.
Like, he goes to
Uh,
England, like, he'll sit there and he'll do his little thing, for the game day, and then he'll play the game, and then if he's got 2 or 3 days available in the week, he'll just fly to England, hang out.
so,
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, "Oh, sweet, dude, yeah,
oh,
I
dude.
know that life, I totally get it, yeah."
For
No.
sure. God.
Right?
Just
He
pull up the
literally
app.
yeah, pull up the app, get the jet ready. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess if Taylor Swift's your
That's true.
significant other, maybe you just have. In which I've heard through the caddy world that she is a little strange. That's what again, I've never been around her, so I don't want to get into that. But yeah, that I've heard through the
No
caddy.
Swifty, no Swifty over here. So you're good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good on our side.
Well, there's all those conspiracy theories
Never
around her.
tell
So
anybody.
well, yeah, so I hear stuff like that sometimes and I'm thinking, man, dude, can you imagine having and then you think about the money, and then I get sort of bummed out because I'm thinking, man, how much of that money can get put back into something productive for all of us to maintain something? I'm not saying I would need the money. I'm just saying, I mean, can you imagine like what we could do with that excess money instead of having an NFL player fly to England so he can eat clam chowder for 2 days? Like, you talk about helping alleviate a junior golf program. Shit, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry. I mean, how many? If he's flying on a private jet 30 times a year, why don't you just fly 10 times a year and we can use the other 250 grand? Poof, man. We can talk about paying for some opportunities, man. We can get 10, 12 sponsor spots easily for an AJGA event there.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Wouldn't that be
If
awesome?
only.
Right. That's something, and that's what I think about all day long. And it's don't get me again. I'm
Mhm.
not telling people how to spend their money. God bless you. If you want to spend it how you want to, shit, go to town, man. I'm not whatever, but um, we just can't expect if most people in society aren't moving on the same wavelength, and everybody's really. And I think social media has kind of created people to be very selfish in a way. And maybe that's just natural and we're not noticing that. But It's always fascinating to me that the amount of if we could get certain people and the money that they have and get them to spend it in a way to where we can alleviate these issues that we're currently dealing with in the golf world, man. I think people would actually do it. And hope again, I'm not just going to ask people for money. I think I want everyone to have accessibility. It's not just about the poor and the middle class. I want the upper class to feel part of it too. I just feel like the product itself with golf is becoming slower and slower into a market where it's only meant for a certain social class, and that scares the absolute shit out of me because golf saved my life. And I didn't come from a really uppity social class. Obviously, I'm playing a municipal golf course. I think you guys would probably say the same.
Yep.
Where if you all didn't have golf, who knows what could have happened. Um,
100%.
it gave me a purpose, really. And I know it's just a
Mhm.
game and we're just hitting a plastic ball in a field. But damn, if I'm not saying that little plastic ball has done a shitload for me. And I just want that same thing for my kids and for y'all's kids, really.
Mhm.
And whether, again, whether or not, yeah, and whether or not they play at a major D1 school or they just play golf for fun, both situations are, I think, adequate to fit the mold of what we want in the golf world. It's just golf as a sport really helps our society with a lot of character traits and a lot of internal growth. And so I think that's something that I think we should publicize or we should advertise more. And I think
Mhm.
golf is so much now about how well you play and what tournaments you've played in and what equipment you have. And look, I got the new McLaren clubs. They're $3,000. Like, dude, fuck me, man. Okay,
Right.
right. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just the culture of it is scaring me a little bit, and especially hearing Shane talk about hitting a $25 bucket of balls, man. That scares the
Yeah, Shane
absolute.
Shicky with that one, yeah, you got to.
That scares the shit out. Well, cause I could hit two. I hit two
It's
large
real
baskets.
though, it's crazy, yeah.
I mean, I can hit two large baskets, no fucking problem, dude. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure it'll
Yeah,
it'll
right?
take me 2.5 hours, but if I'm 18, 19 years old and I'm grinding for a college tournament and you expect me to spend $50, man, god dang, son. I mean, and
No,
then
for
and then
sure.
well then hearing about you, Shay, having to go to a public course and having to spend over $100,
Mhm.
I think that's kind of interesting. And supposedly we have a public course here called Bandon Crossings. I just heard this today that they're gonna start charging 175 for it.
Mm.
Yeah, hopefully not. I don't
Yeah.
hopefully that's just a bunch of hearsay, but
What's the rate right now?
95,
Right.
maybe 85, and which that's I mean, we're out in the middle of nowhere, dude. We're BFE. We're 2.5 hours from Eugene. We're 4
Mhm.
hours from Portland. We are not, um,
Not easy to get to. I've
we're
always heard
yeah,
that about Bandon, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
we're not in a place where I mean, the county itself, Coos County only has maybe 40 to 50,000 people in total, in the whole
Wow.
county. Not just and we
Dang.
have, you have Bandon, you have Coos Bay, and then you have Coquille, which those are your three major towns that are in the county. So you can see if you split 42,000 divided by three, I mean, each town we're barely clearing 15,000 a town here. And I think Coos Bay has about 23, 24,000. So the other two towns you're looking, I mean, it is small town living. And
Right.
obviously when you in the golf world, we're not I think it's what 5 to 10% of people play golf. Again, golf's a very niche kind of sport, so it's not you can't expect a small town of 10 to 15,000 people. I mean, you're looking at
It always blows my mind how booked Bandon is. I mean, you
oh,
guys
the
It's crazy.
booked for years. I mean,
mhm. Oh yeah, and it's all out of the state. It's
right,
100%, and we get a lot
right,
of people from California, um, and yeah, maybe some in Portland and that area if it's more local, which that's what we consider local is the West Coast.
Mhm.
State of
Mhm.
Washington, state of Oregon, state of California. That's what we
Mhm.
consider locals. But then you get into the summer months, man, you can get a group from Iowa, and then the
Mhm.
next group you have is from Japan with a translator.
Mhm. It's a lot of
right.
It's insane. And I've
That's
had a
crazy.
few groups that way where we had to have translators, which if you ever caddy for a group from Asia, no offense to you Asians, God bless y'all. But man, you talk about a long fucking round, dude.
Yeah.
It's a long round. And then they sit there and they'll be halfway through the round and we go to the turn stand and they spend 45 minutes eating their food and shit, dude. And I'm thinking, okay, God bless y'all. And I guess when you go over to, I have a buddy that lives in Thailand, and he told me that every time he goes plays golf, it's a full day.
Is that what it
And
is there? It's custom
yeah,
there?
and I
Well,
think
they
over
have like
there,
an actual lunch time that's built into your tea time,
yes,
like an
yeah,
Oh,
hour.
no way.
Like after
yes,
you do the
Oh,
front
that's
nine, you
wild.
have like an hour for lunch, and then you
yep,
go play the back nine.
that's exactly what I found out.
Wild.
Oh yeah,
Okay. I never knew that.
Yeah,
that's it. Yep. And I think it's in. I don't think it's just in China or Japan. I think it's everywhere in the Asian cultures. That's how they all do it.
Wow.
Um, and it ends up being a 7 hour round usually. They'll because they I think sometimes you have to show up an hour early, then they'll
Mhm.
prep with massages and all this other shit, and then you go and play the round, and then you go have lunch, which ends up becoming like an hour, like Shane says, hour and a half, and then you play the back nine, and you usually are playing at 2.5 hours for each side because they are very, it's very intricate. It's an experience for them. So when they go play golf over there, it's a full day. It's a full day's work.
Listen, I'm not mad at that. Listen, massage is a full day golf. I'm not mad at that. I just can't comprehend it. Like with the wife and kids, I just cannot comprehend being
yeah.
able to
We
do
we got
that.
like a four.
That's
We have like a
insane.
4 or 5 hour window over there.
Yeah,
You better get your
exactly.
ass
Oh,
home.
oh,
Yeah,
you're
that
telling
includes
me, dude.
travel time too. Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
yeah, I get
So,
shit. If
but I'm
I'm
not
gone
mad
for
at it
more
though.
than
Massages, hey,
oh yeah, if I'm
yeah,
gone for more than 5 hours, I'm getting a phone call.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, not a
There's no
chance.
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
if I had to eat at 4:55, if that's I will get a phone call. Are
Thank
you
Mhm.
on
God
your
I
way?
have a lady that doesn't stress on me about my golf, so I'll give my lady a shout out for that.
Mhm.
Good for
For
you,
the
dude.
most, for the most men out there, some people I know, I
Oh
have
yeah.
some buddies that are definitely getting that phone call or that text message like, "Where the f are you at?"
Obviously, I think the junior golf thing, we beat that horse pretty dead. But I want to
Mhm.
talk about one little quick thing, and then I'll
Cool.
let y'all go because I think we're almost over an hour now.
Mhm.
Actually, shit, are we an hour and a half? About an hour and a half. Okay, so we got about 15. I don't want to bore y'all too much. So I had a situation, and this is how I met Shane. So I had some information given to me. Um, I'm not a huge fan of influencers. I think some of them are okay. I just think the influencer world has created a situation to where our junior golfers now they're more into advertising themselves than they are trying to become better golfers, in my opinion. And I'm not saying every influencer is bad. I just think they've exploited the game for their own personal use. That's where I'm at with most of them. And so and yes, again, I think Grant Horvat does some things for junior golf. And so people like that I admire. Okay, fine. Good for you. I just never saw golf going that way. Maybe I'm just jealous in some way. I don't know. Um, so I had some information come to me about a couple of influencers playing a golf hole, and they weren't very adequate with their information, or the information wasn't too correct. And I did some research and I kind of saw what I saw, and I made a video about it, and it turned into a situation with an influencer. And this influencer, his name's Mac Butcher. He ended up getting pretty intense with me, and that's actually how I met Shane because he did the same thing with Shane, in a way, and I thought that was very interesting because part of me is still wondering if the because I had about 3 or 4 sources telling me this information, and I'm just curious if those sources gave led me down a wrong road. If I maybe should have done more research before I posted the video, because I've never played the golf course or whatnot. But what is y'all's thoughts on influencers?
Dude, I want the rest of the details. Okay.
Oh, here
Hmm,
I'll give them
go
to you.
ahead. Want
Okay,
to give us a
so
little quick notes just because I'm not as tapped in as Shane and everything that just happened. I would love a quick little
okay,
recap of what.
okay, so they're playing this
Yeah.
hole. It's the second hole at Bear Mountain Valley. It's a
Mhm.
235-yard par three. There's all these
Okay.
tee boxes, and there's this huge hedge of heather in front of the front tees. Well, where
Okay.
Mac and where 𝐖𝐡𝐚𝐭 is his name, where they teed off, it really looks like they teed off from the 190 to 200-yard plate.
Okay.
And so it's not that big of a deal. What I said
Yeah.
was, "Hey, just to be wary, these influencers are saying it's the 235 club, but yet they're teeing off from a forward tee box, so you never
Okay.
so you don't know if they're really teeing off from the 235 box," which to me, the more Mac explained it to me, I could see his point and whatever. The whole
Because he's the
point of
guy that
the
hits those big hooks and stuff. Is
Yeah.
he right?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes, and he's in
Okay.
the
Gotcha.
BMW commercial on the Golf Channel, so
Oh wow.
he's a yeah, oh yeah, he's one of the bigger
I
influencers.
saw him on like the Creator Classic or something. Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
He has
yes,
like
there you go.
Okay.
690,000 followers. Like he's pretty big.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
I would say he's really only 3 or 4 people below Grant Horvat type status, man. I'm thinking he's pretty high up
So he
there.
responded back to you, or did you
Oh,
comment? Did you comment that, or did you make a post?
no,
Did you
I
on
made a
his thing, or
I
you
made
made
a
your own
post,
post?
I didn't even
Okay.
tag him or anything. I didn't do anything.
Gotcha. He wrote
He
you
oh, he dude, he called me. Called me 3 times.
on the phone.
Yes.
The
Oh, yeah.
funny part is he reached out to me
Wow.
because I commented on the post that he posted, and
Hmm.
he sent us a DM, and I had to like go and like make sure like actually click on his profile and like I
Right. You're
thought I
like,
was
is this
getting
a
trolled.
scam?
Yeah, I
Right.
thought I was getting trolled.
Right.
I'm like, what
But
is going on? I'm like, there's no way this guy is writing to us because
Oh,
I
yeah.
right.
commented on the post just saying like,
Dude, he
I just kind of agreed with our boy over here, and I was just like, these
mhm.
guys got to be honest about what they're doing. And then he's actually sent me a message kind of coming at us, and I'm like, bro, it's just a post.
Unreal.
That's what I'm saying,
Wow.
and us
Okay.
combined, we're both.
Called you. Did you answer, or did you
No,
ever talk?
I was at work. I couldn't.
Okay.
He called me, I
Wow.
think, 3 different times. I think he sent me over 40 to 50 messages. Like, completely explaining himself, showing me these Google images of the back tee box, how there was multiple tee boxes, how the camera angles aren't usually good, and how the zoom effect and all this other shit. And he really,
Wow.
really over explained himself to me. It got
Yeah.
to the point where I was thinking, okay, it, is he guilty of something?
Right. It's like almost too much.
Like,
Right.
why are you messing with me? And he says, well, you're trying to flatline my brand. And I'm thinking, dude, you have 100 times the following I
Right.
do.
Wow.
What am I if anything, I'm giving you publicity in a
Mhm.
way, but I guess I mean, he did, and so there's gonna be a post coming out about me. He even sent me messages of coworkers talking shit about me. It got really interesting, and I was thinking, "Okay,
Wow, that's crazy. Okay.
yeah," and
Okay.
I'm, "Okay, fine."
So this is the bad side of influencers then. Okay, how we kind of devolve into this then.
Well, I
I don't
told
like
him
this
like,
part.
bro, not everybody's gonna like you or like your stuff, what you post, or is gonna disagree with something you do, right? So I'm like,
Mhm.
you can't let somebody's opinion on you get to your head, right? Like you just gotta let, especially with your type of following, bro. You have 690,000 followers. Not everybody's gonna have, you're gonna have haters out there, right? And it's like not that he was hating on him, but he was just kind of pointing
Yeah,
out,
I was questioning his ethics.
right?
Mhm.
I was just saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, I got this information. This doesn't look," and it doesn't, because when you see the flyover video of the hole, you see
You
the
see what the
huge
hedge is.
hedge in the front forward tee boxes, and then on the back tee, it's a depression. It's a huge depression, and then there's a cart path, and then it goes up to
Mhm.
the forward tees. And then on the forward tees has this huge hedge of heather, right? And so where they're teeing off from, both of them, you see this huge thing of heather.
Mhm.
And you're thinking, okay, well, maybe they're teeing off on the forward tees. And my point of the whole deal was, I'm not trying to say they're okay, whether they're lying or not. That wasn't the point. The point was, I was trying to tell people, hey, look, when you're watching an influencer, you have to understand that they're not going to tell you everything that they're legit doing, because how they get their following is not based upon how good they are as a player. It's about how attractive their content is. So
Right, right.
it's all comes from a
It's gotta
place of
be
ad
exaggerated and yeah, it's gotta be
right,
all like
and sometimes it's not.
or
I don't know.
something.
You're right. And so, and which, and why I've always believed that influencers, to me, they've exploited what Tiger Woods has created, and they're trying to piggyback off of that and use it for their own personal situation. Now, if you're making YouTube videos and you're doing matches against each other like that, to me, I'm okay with. I'm totally
Mhm.
fine with that. I think that's necessary. I think it's brought the human element into the game. Well, fine, whatever. But for us to think that we need to give them opportunities to play in tour events
Mm.
through the Creator Classic and shit like that, I just find that very, because now we're taking away a spot from somebody who actually grinded and worked their ass off, and you're giving it to a guy who is simply earning it through advertisement and gaining a following. I find that now I don't mind if they have tournaments specifically for creators, and those
Mhm.
creators play for money that they all put in a pot. Hell yeah, that's
Mhm.
great. There's nothing wrong there. But for the PGA Tour to give a spot for somebody that way, I don't know. That to me, like they should just go to a normal qualifier, in my opinion, because you got plenty of guys that have busted their ass and worked their tail off, and maybe some people are just not as good with the camera or don't know how to work the influencer angle as well. So we're
Mhm.
not really showcasing talent at that point. But then again, there's plenty of influencers that are really good players, right? So
Right.
maybe they do deserve it in a way. But then again, why can't we just throw a qualifier? But to me, what I found very interesting was that I mean, he got really, it got to the point where I almost had to block him. Um, so yeah, I didn't know. I was gonna say, what do you guys admire?
Hmm.
Do you guys think the influencer stuff is fine? I'm sort of 50-50 on it.
I'm a
What are
little
your,
torn on that. I'm a little bit torn. I mean,
what,
you bring up a good point about like not taking the spot away from someone who's been grinding,
yes,
because I definitely hate to see that. And then I also look on the side of the people hosting the tournament and getting more eyeballs on the tournament. So obviously I'm going to side with the struggling person over like the corporation to get more
yeah,
eyeballs. But so I wouldn't want to take a spot away. I don't know if they can add someone, but that's a good point you make there. But they definitely, a YouTube star that's good enough is definitely going to bring more eyeballs, right?
yeah,
Than like a
right,
fringe player. That's
right,
just the truth.
yeah.
So that's the hard part.
Yep, and that's and from
Yeah.
a business standpoint, and that's the part I understand.
Right.
Totally get it. Where if you're trying to showcase this tournament, in hopes to get more viewership to help get the maybe the purses higher or whatever,
Right.
or even they, if it's a YouTube star that has sponsors attached to them, then those
Mhm.
sponsors can then attach themselves to the tournament that
Mhm.
and give players more opportunity that way, then that's see, and that's why I'm kind of 50-50 with it. I could see the
Yeah.
benefits and the cons both ways. Um, I'm nervous that kids are going to stop worrying about becoming better players and they're going to start worrying
Sure.
about alternative motives around it, and that's the
Sure.
one thing I'm a little bit scared of. But then again, I'm all for accessibility. So part of me thinks, okay, well, we shouldn't shun away influencers altogether. That's not going to work because now I'm completely against my entire message that way.
Mhm.
Right? Because I think this game's meant for everybody, and if somebody wants to put a camera around and showcase them playing golf, then I'm not going to take that away from them, right?
Well,
Because
I
I
think that's the cool part about YouTube, right? It's like at some point, it's the ultimate equalizer, right? With like phones nowadays. So I told you I went some YouTube golf and I was just watching that tournament, I guess, with Grant and the Bryan Bros.
yeah,
And then one guy I hadn't seen play before, I think his name was Chance, and he's from, I want to say, or Virginia maybe.
yeah,
And he's just a hunting guy. He said he spends most of his time hunting and he plays golf and he's a damn good golfer, right? But
right,
he just got this big accent, but super just optimistic guy, super good vibes, talks about just hunting deer and his family and golf. And he was super positive to the other players. I'm going to look up his channel and watch it now, right? Because it's just
right,
good vibes and stuff. And he's like a people's person, right? Doesn't look like he comes from much. He was wearing
yeah.
overalls at the range.
It's fine.
But I think it's like ultimate equalizer where you have someone like that, uh, has someone like me super interested. And then I saw a couple of creators on there that there's one guy dressed in like, and I'm not trying to take shots at him, but he's a really good golfer. He was just in Malbon, but just wasn't really relatable. And I'm like, okay, I probably won't be following him, right? I'm going to follow the guy from Virginia that hunts on the weekends. So I think that's what's good about this accessibility and having different flavors in there, even on the influencer side. But I do see some influencers that are just see these 12, 13-year-olds all decked out in like the most expensive gear and stuff and worried about more about their golf vlog than they are about getting better, which it seems like. So I think that's a scarier part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you're not true to yourself. I think if you're just documenting yourself and you're true to yourself, the more power to you. If you see a 12-year-old that's just trying to act exactly like Grant does, you know what I mean? Is trying to be a mini Grant. Hey man, just be you. Like find yourself.
Right.
So yeah, you bring up a good point.
That's the thing that makes me, and again, I don't think that we should not have influencers. I'm glad that they're part of the game.
Mhm.
And I think that that's something we just have, because I'm sort of an OG, and so I have to embrace it, I guess, in a way. And it's kind of a different flavor. Sometimes I get a little bit salty about it, but I think overall, objectively, I try to be more open minded to the content. I don't watch YouTube golf or anything, but I'm more open minded into understanding where their space is and how they fit into the golf world. But that was my first interaction ever with an influencer, and that was very interesting to me.
Thought I knew the guy. I'm like, no, man. He
Well,
just,
he just said that he knew you,
oh,
yeah, the way the way he went about it, it was I thought you guys knew each other.
no. Yeah,
I can't believe
I was completely thrown off guard by the whole thing. I was like, there's no way this guy with this many followers is reaching out to us and like trying to defend himself about this post,
par
right? And I'm just
by
like,
par
what is
three.
going on right now?
I know, dude, and I mean, sorry to get you into it. Well, it gave us a little interview, a little show going on, so
Yeah.
and I really and obviously to tie this in, I really admire what you guys are doing in your message. I think it's I think it's really cool that you guys have that message. And down the road, I would, if you ever need someone to maybe showcase somebody's story, or whatever, and you want to do that, I would love to do that. Say you got a junior golfer trying to get some sponsorships, or you got a young family involved, or whatever, anything really. I'm really
Super cool.
open minded to give back and help people out as much as I can. That's why I do what I do. So, um,
Hmm.
yeah, I love that you guys are part of the junior golf deal. I think that's something that is, again, the foundation of our sport, and if we don't have gentlemen like you two showcasing that and trying to bring that message into the golf world, then I think golf tends to become more fragile. And I think it all stems from your all's opportunities through the Salvation Golf, excuse me, and these junior programs and playing public golf. I think that to me is, you see a lot of good stories, and you see a lot of really passionate people coming from those sort of areas in life. And so at the end of the day, that's kind of where I try to meet with people, is hear their stories and try to learn from everybody I have on my show. And so,
Nice.
um,
We appreciate you having us on.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah, and then and tonight was really cool because we got to talk about the junior golf thing, and I think Jade kind of gave me a little idea of, okay, if we're gonna do this, or we need the AJGA sponsorship thing. I think that's really cool. Having
Hmm.
position or having spots open for local people, and then somehow figuring out a way to where if we do have say like the area of Sacramento, how can we get those high schools or those areas involved to create a situation to have a national tournament so that we can showcase people from the area? Because it is not just as simple as asking the PGA Tour for money. I think there's got
Hmm.
to be a lot more that goes into it. There's got to be a lot
Hmm.
more of a thought process and a way to advertise it to get people to even want to be a part of it. So,
Hmm.
uh, which is why I like doing this, because I think I have these ideas, and I like to sometimes I enjoy being I like enjoy the criticism that gets to me, because then I usually take that criticism and I think, okay, I gotta re-navigate how I think about things, or I gotta maybe open my brain in this certain subject and try to see if I can learn something more. Because again, at the end of the day,
So it's good to it's good to have conversation. That's how you build.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Do y'all have any final words for the channel or?
No, just thanks for having
just
us,
thanks.
man. I'll have to make the trip up there one time, and best of luck up there. I'll be definitely watching a bunch of your content, and I want to go back and see the Mac stuff. I was like, now I'm here for the tea.
Oh,
Right,
dude, that's
crazy.
and again, if people who are watching this,
Mm-hmm.
the post was about getting people to open their minds in a different way about influencers. I
It's
don't,
good though. That's important. Yeah.
right? I
Yeah. You can get
firmly,
skewed.
yeah, I firmly believe that influencers are more than welcome to be a part of our space. I love
Mm-hmm.
that we have YouTube Golf. There's nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with what that is. I actually think it's necessary. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the few products in golf that's relatable for every social class right now. And I think that's what's
Mm-hmm.
keeping the not just the rich, but everybody else besides the rich involved in golf is YouTube Golf.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of again I appreciate it, but I think there's some thresholds here that we need to set some boundaries on, maybe.
Sure. No, that's
But yeah,
awesome, man.
yeah. So Shane, you got anything or?
No, man, just
Awesome.
let me know if you're ever in Sacramento, and
Oh
love
yeah,
to tee it up, and
oh yeah.
I'll
Well,
definitely let you know if I can ever make it out your way.
well, if you come out to Bandon, you just got to make it here. I always tell people if you make it here, you can play free golf with me.
Well, I'll definitely take that offer up.
Yeah, yeah, right. You just got to make it here. So, yeah,
Oh man, I
it's a
gotta go.
yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, I don't want Shay's car to get all. I don't want his car to die.
I was like, I had to turn my car on just now because I thought my battery was gonna die. I was like, dang, I keep like extending the long distance out forever. Sorry, guys.
Dude, that's
All
amazing.
right, you guys have a good one. Thank you so much for having us, man. That was awesome.
Absolutely, my man. Yeah, yeah.
All right, bud.